Yeah. So I'll share the screen. Just 1 minute. Yeah. So can you see the screen? Devotees,
Yes,
anybody can
Mataji.
confirm? Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So
Speaking.
Hare Krishna. So first of all, we will be starting with our prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा. So today we will be starting with chapter number 6, that is Dhyana Yoga. So what is that we are going to see in today's chapter. So what is yoga actually? If you will see whether this is yoga or there are different, is this, whether this is yoga or then this is yoga. If it is a yoga or anything else, can anybody from the devotee side can tell what it is?
To meditate.
Okay, is he meditating, Mataji, Shweta Mataji?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Okay, what kind
Meditate.
of a way he is meditating like this?
To to meditate in the park meditation to make mind positive and make energy.
Okay, what is this,
Think
Mataji?
about God.
Okay,
To think
okay,
about God.
okay. And then what about this? Is this also yoga? You see, you can see the different pictures. What is this? Is this yoga? Or if it is yoga, so what is that yoga? So anybody can tell from the devotee side. Anybody, whatever you know, you can just say. Don't think that it is right or wrong. There is no judgment here.
It is Shirsasan, Shirsasan.
Okay, Shirshasana. So that comes in the yoga, Prabhuji? Okay, so you see what happens is, you see there are different, is this yoga, then is this yoga, is this yoga, you see there are many pictures. So actually we are not understanding what is yoga first. That is why we are doing all such type of a postures. And see, as anything which is famous, so what we generally do is we will try to make it a twist in the sense that okay, it should be my version, and in that we will forget whether it is keeping the original form of that or not. See, you can give a twist to anything, but the original content should not miss. So the yoga, what is the meaning of yoga, that should not miss. So you see, some people, because of their what you can think of as a false ego, as to show or to impress or to anything, they are showing that okay, yoga means it is famous, so I will do my type of a yoga. You see, this person is doing, this is beer yoga. You can see in many foreign countries and all that, very, just because they will do one posture, and because they like drinking, so they have taken that. So what is that? It is not yoga. They have not understood the term itself called yoga. Yoga is not about taking one bottle and doing that. Understand? And after that, this Mataji is there. You see, she has kept a goat on that. Because why she has kept? You see, because environment. It's a very important topic. So she has kept something related to that. So what is happening here? Without understanding the true meaning of yoga, we are making our own version, right? Like these days you will see people are going to Vrindavan or to Mathura or to any religious places just because everybody is going. We are not concerned what is there, for what purpose we have to go, why I personally want to go there. We are not thinking that, because we have not understood for what purpose Vrindavan is. It is not a traveling place, it is not for enjoyment. For that you can go to Goa. So the same way here, people are not understanding. You see, Mataji has sat on the chair and Mataji is stretching herself. That has become a chair yoga, right? You see here different type of, they are doing something and all that, right? There are many like this. You see different type of desktop yoga, just because we are sitting in front of desktop, so that has become a yoga itself. Because we want to, we have not understood what is yoga. So now first we will understand the term. What is yoga? Yoga means it's a union with the divine, right? So for that, what all we have to do, that we have to understand, not just whatever the version I want to create, right? Meditation means it is not that I'll keep my head down and then I will meditate, right? That is, you can do it very, higher stage. Suppose people have reached that stage, that time you can, think of that type of, but initially you cannot imagine. Suppose you cannot stand in the Shirshasana for, not even 1 minute as a beginner, right? But what we are doing is, as in the initial stage, we have to understand what is yoga. So now what is yoga is connecting with the divine. Why we have to connect with the divine? Because ultimately we have the internal connection with the divine. Why? How come? Because see, we belong to Bhagavan only, right? We belong to this divine only, and but we have forgotten that. So to establish that, we are again trying to connect, right? But for that we should have the correct methods for that. Whatever is prescribed in our Shastra. See, anything we should not do whatever I feel like doing, right? Whatever is our Shastras has prescribed, whether it is about yoga, whether it is about, reading our scriptures, the way we have to, chant and so many other things. So whatever is the proper method is given there, or according to that only we have to do that. So now comes is, as we have understood what is the yoga, so now we will see what is Ashtanga Yoga. As the name suggests, the Ashtanga means Asht means 8 in Sanskrit, and Anga means the limb or the parts you can think of. So that is 8 limb connection you can think of. So it means it has the 8 steps through which you will complete a cycle. Like if you might have seen the Surya Namaskar, right? So in that it is a it has different steps. Then only a one circle of or one round will be completed. The same way here also you have different steps. Like what are the steps? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi, right? So these are the 8 steps. That is why it is called as 8 limbed connection or the Ashtanga Yoga, right? So now what we have to do in this 8 steps. So first is Yama means the this is the brief introduction of that. So external discipline, right? Niyama means internally you have to, right? Then asana means the different type of a postures, right? Which we are doing, Shirsasana and all that, right? Pranayama, like we are doing Anulom, Vilom and different type of pranayamas to control the breathing pattern. Why it is important? Because you see, breathing plays a very important role in our life. If you are not able to breathe properly, then your whole system will not work. So that we will not go in the detail. And then pratyahara means the withdrawal of senses. See, all the chaos which is being created in our life, our mind is not working properly, our body is not, because we are not able to control our senses, right? Our senses has said, oh, we are passing by from a street, oh, pani puri stall is there, okay, we will have pani puri. Even though our stomach is filled up to here, then also we will have pani puri, because we have got the craving of that. So we cannot control the senses. Senses are controlling. No, you have to eat pani puri. So that is why importance of withdrawal of senses. That is there as a pratyahara. Dharana means the concentration, right? And dhyana means the meditative absorption, and the samadhi means the union, the last stage when you will connect with the divine. So these are the 8 steps through which you have to do the Ashtanga Yoga. So these are the details of that. Now you see in Yama, he should live alone in a secluded place and should always carefully control his mind. Niyama means temperate in his habits of eating, sleeping, working and recreation. Asana means lay kusha grass on the ground and then cover it with the deer skin. The seat should be neither be too high nor too low and should be situated in a sacred place. One should hold one's body, neck and head erect in a straight line. There are so many rules. We will not go into that. But after reading, after understanding that, how many of you are willing to give a try to Ashtanga Yoga? Just raise your hand. Those who felt this is very good and it can improve us, they can raise their hands or they can unmute themselves and tell. Mataji's or Prabhuji, how many of you want to do that? Anybody is willing to do that? Or if they are not willing also, why they are not willing? Anything you can tell, both the yes or no. If yes means why, no means why. Nobody is willing or not willing. Yeah, Shweta Mataji, Deepak Prabhuji, from here I cannot see everyone. So Yeah. Anybody would like to, give it a try? Nobody is willing. Okay, leave it. So no problem, right? You see, if you want to give it a try also, just you have to look for anything. Is it feasible? Is it possible for us, for anybody of you or me or for anyone in this Kali Yuga especially, right? Why? You see, because you see in this first thing is how many steps are there, how much time consuming it is, how much energy consuming it is, right? At the same time, you see concentration. Are we able to sit? You just see, according to science also in the Kali Yuga, how much is our this concentration span. It is very less. We cannot concentrate on so much of time. Like you see in the Satyuga, people used to meditate for thousands of years, right? They will sit for hours and hours and years. Whether we can do that? If only except sitting for 3 hours in the movie, that we can do, right? Because in that only we are getting interest. But when it comes to Shastra, so it is very difficult even to sit for 5 or 10 minutes. So that we have to see. So that is why it is not at all feasible or possible for especially for the Kali Yuga people, as neither we have that much lifetime, nor we have that much concentration, nor we have that much time. So many factors which are stopping us to do that. Apart from that, if somebody is willing, then they can give it a try. And apart from that, in that you see, you have to take a kusha grass. From where will you bring? We are living in a cities where concrete jungles only there, right? Then you have to bring the deer skin. You search where you will get the deer. Like that, so many rules and regulations are there. It is not just like that easy, right? So what happens is, so this is not feasible or not easy for the Kali Yuga. You see, now what happens is concentration. You see, for that, what example we will give is Arjuna. You see, why? Because Arjuna, when it was that story is there, that when he was asked to shot an arrow, so everybody said, oh, I am seeing the tree, I am doing this, I am not able to see the leaf or this or twig or whatever. He said, I am able to see only the eye of that or of that bird. So he was so focused. Like that we should be, but it is not possible now, right? So this is and you see, when when he was having a fight with Lord Shiva also, so that time also he was, you see, fighting with such a devata also. That time also he was fully concentrated on that, right? So now comes is that now in Bhagavad Gita 6.34, what Arjuna is saying, that you see, you have told me this system, that Ashtanga Yoga, you concentrate like this, you follow all these steps. But what is he saying? Anybody can read this? Any devotee would like to read?
I'll try.
Yes, Mataji, please.
It may be incorrect though.
It's okay, no issues, Mataji. Here no test is going on.
Kanya kalam himana. I don't know the.
Chanchalam hi manah Krishna.
Oh,
Yes.
Chanchalam himana Krishna. Pramati badavadridam. Tasyaham nigraham manye. Vayoriva suduskaram.
Yeah. So now what Arjuna is saying, that this mind, now you are asking me to do this, you have told me this path. Now, but you see, mind, so it is so very restless, it is very turbulent, it is obstinate and very strong. See, because you see, our, in this, you just take our, normal routine example also from the material world. You see, why this much of problems, whether it is in our relationships, it's in our job or in anything, or our mental, these anxiety, stress, depression, why this is happening these days? Even the, facilities what we have now and the kind of life we are living is far better when compared to previous people. Just go by, 50 years back, people were not having that many facilities, nothing. But they were not having this kind of a problem because their mind was controlled. Now the mind is, restless. We don't know because we have detached ourselves from Bhagavan. See, if you will detach yourself from the right source, from where you belong to, then this only will happen. right? We don't know what is the purpose. We are thinking, oh, I will buy a car, then I will be happy. If I will buy a home, I will be happy. Like that, we are searching the happiness in the material things, right? And we are, I know what, not controlling our mind. Mind is controlling us. So that is what Arjuna is saying. So mind is very restless. It is very turbulent, and Krishna, and to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than to controlling the wind. You see, he is comparing it with the wind, that at least it is easy to control the wind. You see how difficult even to control the wind, but he is saying at least that is easy when compared to controlling the mind. So you can imagine that how difficult it will be, right, to control the mind. So the what Bhagavan is giving the answer, the blessed Lord said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by constant practice and the detachment. See, anything in life, whether you take it materially or spiritually, if you have two things, see, even you are so, from the, our childhood, we used to see the story of tortoise and the, rabbit. You see, tortoise was nowhere in front of rabbit, but he was doing the constant practice, right? He was not thinking, oh, he is so very big, he will only win, he was doing his work, he was keep on going. But at the same time, that rabbit was having the, I will win only. The same thing happens here also. See, if we are practicing constantly, no matter we don't know anything also, we can win in that field. Whether it is Bhagavan's field, means the spiritual field, or whether it is material field. And second thing is the detachment. Detachment from what? Detachment from, your material things. How can we detach? Thinking that, oh, I am the doer, you see, because of me only this family is fed, I am, because of me only these many people are surviving, I am only running this, institution, whatever, So you have to keep yourself detached from the fruit of anything, thinking that it is being done by Bhagavan, thinking that, I am just a medium for that, I am not doing anything, right? So these are the two things. So if you are doing that, it is very easy to control the mind. For one whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is difficult work, but he whose mind is controlled and who is strived by right means is assured of success. See, as we have seen, that if you control the mind, you see big yogis and big people, those who have achieved anything in life, you just ask them, they have controlled the mind. They know what to do, when to do, how to do and all that. But for us, our mind is telling us, no, now you have to, at night 12 o'clock also, now I am, I want to eat something. Our senses are not in control. Our mind is not in our control. So whatever the mind is saying, we are doing that. So that is the difference. So that is what Bhagavan said. If you have controlled the mind, then it will become your friend. And if you did not control it, it will become your enemy. That is very simply, what Bhagavan has told. Right? So now it's up to you. Whether you want to make it as a friend, whether you want to make it as an enemy, choice is yours. For that, you have to just, control your senses, right? The first step is that. For him who has conquered the mind is the best friend. But for one who has failed to do so, his very mind will be the greatest enemy. Because then you will work according to that. It will not work according to you. And then whatever the nonsense he is asking you, whatever the bad things, good things, whatever, anytime he is asking you, you have to do it. So that is why it is important to control the mind so that you can do the right things in life, right? So what is the destination of someone who fails in achieving success in yoga? Now you see, some people can ask that, okay, suppose we are doing, this much for Bhagavan, right? We are doing the bhakti yoga, we are, worshipping Bhagavan, we are doing the constant practice. But what happened? Suppose if I will fail, I prepared, suppose, in your material life, you prepared for the NEET exam. No matter how hard you tried, but you failed, right? But out of 700 marks, you got 650 only. So now you cannot get the MBBS seat. So what? Next time you can get the, BDS seat, you can get other, BAMS, BUMS and all that. There are many options. The same way here also what happens is, after many years of enjoyment on the planet of the pious living entity is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. So what happens? Bhagavan, see, any effort which you have taken towards Bhagavan, whatever the step, little, smallest, tiniest, whatever you want to say to it, it will never be waste. You see, whatever in your material world, now, from our childhood up to the death, we are collecting something from, like this only we have to go. Even from your bank account, others only will take out the money, whatever the crores you are collecting. In your home also, anybody else will live. But if we have taken little bit effort towards Bhagavan, then it will be carry forward. And that is why Bhagavan will see that next life, whatever we are getting, in that we should get in a, a family of good people, where you can continue your devotional service, whether good families where you can chant more and surrender more, so that you can be liberated. So Bhagavan, whatever the effort you will take towards Bhagavan, it will not be waste. So we should not think, suppose now somebody is of 60 years, they can think, only I have 10, 20 years. In that also, if I will worship Bhagavan, whether I will be able to achieve Bhagavan or not, then what is the use? No. In that, suppose 100 times you have taken the name, next time you have to start from 101. That is why you will see some kids, at the age of 3, at the age of 4, at the age of, I know one person, one small child, he has memorized Ashtadhyayi. If you know, that is of Sanskrit. It has 4,000 small shlokas. One child of 6 to 7 years of age, he has memorized everything. Not even, I think 5 or 6 only, right? So you see, how come they are doing that? So he might have done in his previous life, otherwise it is not possible. You see some kids, they are memorizing the shlokas at the age of 3, 4, like that many. Even they don't know how to read, how to write, nothing. They are not going to school. So that is what, because they have done something in their previous life, which is they are carry forwarding, right? So towards Bhagavan, whatever you are doing will never go waste. So whatever, at whichever stage you are, whether you are at the age of 10, whether you are at the age of 90, start that. It is as simple as that. So whatever, suppose at the age of 90 you can take 10 steps towards Bhagavan, take that. You have to start next time from 11th. And Bhagavan will make arrangement that you can, your journey, your spiritual journey can be smoother, so that you can, again go back. Suppose you failed in this lifetime, right? So like that, he will make you, birth in the good families, some religious families where people will worship, people will be like this. So who is the greatest yogi? So here the Narad Muni. We can give the example of Narad Muni. Now you see, you have read different type of yogas in Bhagavad Gita, right? But you see here, the hierarchy is given. Why it is given like that? You see, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga and the Bhakti Yoga. Why Bhakti Yoga is kept on the top? Anybody can tell?
Kali Yuga.
It's more
Kali Yuga.
easy to do.
Yeah, that is correct, Prabhuji. Anybody else would like to give a try?
It is said that in Kali Yuga, we can acquire what you call moksha by just chanting.
Yes, correct. So you see, only thing is, we have to understand, karma. Why karma is important? Without that, nobody can survive. And karma, we are taking it very lightly in our life, right? We are thinking, karma means what? You see, if I given food to someone, I have created a good karma. If I, cheated someone, I have created a bad karma. It's not that easy. See, because Bhagavan will see the intention behind everything. And that is why you will see in few, after some chapters, Bhagavan will say, you can offer me the flower, the leaf, the fruit, anything or the water, but you must offer me with love and devotion. So Bhagavan will see what intention, with what bhava you are offering. So that is why karma also, whether karma is not only about, I said good things to you, I created good karma. No, but behind that my intention is, suppose I praised Chitra Mataji. I said, Are Mataji, you are very good and all that. But from inside, what I am thinking is, no, how can I, just like that only, I praised to her. So my intention is bad. But see, Chitra Mataji cannot see that. But Bhagavan can see that. So always when you are, whether your words, whether your thoughts, whether your actions, your reactions, everything behind that, what is your intention will make, it to a good or bad karma. So that is why it is very difficult to understand the cycle of karma. And that is why it is always said to do the, as you might have read previously also, to do the Nishkam Karma Yoga, means surrendering the fruit of whatever the work or the karma you are doing to the Bhagavan, because you cannot describe what is good, what is bad. Suppose I gave food or I gave 100 rupees to a person. What he did, he went and he drank. he went and, or else he, bought a knife and, cut someone's neck. Anything, any bad thing he did. So now, whether it is a good karma or a bad karma, what it will go to me. So I cannot, decide what is good, what is bad. So that is what we have to be very, very careful. When it comes to karma. Then see, every day we are doing our karma, but we don't know for what purpose we are doing, what is our destination, we don't know. So for that we have to read the jnana. Means the jnana will come from where? Not from your, material jnana. Oh, I have taken B.Tech, then M.Tech, then PhD, then postdoctorate fellow, and I have become very big. That jnana is not required here, because that will be here only. Your PhD will be, one day will be teared by your family people and thrown in the dustbin. It is till the time you are that 70, 80, 90 years you are here, till that only it will work. Okay. But actual jnana is the shastras. What is who I am? Who is Bhagavan? What is our connection? That we will know from the shastras. Then only we will start living our life. See, it is important. If I don't know what is the life, what is the meaning of life, oh, others are also getting born, studying, getting married, getting a job, having kids. This is like, eating, meeting, sleeping, different, like the, this animals we are doing. It is not that. Our life is, that is why it is considered that human life is very rare. Why it is rare? Because we have the intelligence so that we can approach Bhagavan. A dog or a cat cannot approach. A tree cannot approach. Right? So that is what we have to, but these things we will understand when we will read our shastras. That why this human life is important and what we have to do, so that we will not come in this cycle, right? After that comes is for meditating, as we have seen now about the Ashtanga Yoga. But is it feasible? No. As it is very difficult, especially for the Kali Yugi people, whose concentration span is almost not even 1 minute itself, right? Then comes is the Bhakti Yoga. You see, 500 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and he only given this Maha Mantra, right? Why he given? Because he knows Kali Yugi people are more fallen. They will not have this much of time. They will not have that much of concentration and all that. So he has, you see, for us, for our benefit only, he has given this. So that is why, whether it is your karma, jnana or Ashtanga Yoga, the highest one is the Bhakti Yoga. So that easily you can liberate from this, material world. And if at this, you see, Kali Yuga is the easiest. You can think of Kali Yuga is the worst Yuga in so many aspects, right? Like the people, the environment, everything. But it is the best Yuga for if you want to liberate. Because this much easy to approach Bhagavan was never ever. You see, in Satyuga, you will, sit for 500 years. Then also we don't know whether Bhagavan will appear or not. You see, in, Treta Yuga, you have to do, a different, this thing. In Treta Yuga, yagas, big sacrifices and all that, right? And then in the Dwapar Yuga, you have to do the elaborate temple worship and all that. That also again time taking, energy taking, so many. And here, nothing. You see, simple, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Easiest one. And if now also we cannot approach Bhagavan, we cannot attain Bhagavan, then it's our choice. Right? It's because we have not done our karma. You see, we all are sitting in this class because Bhagavan has done his work. And that is why if you don't think that you have chosen yourself for this class, Bhagavan has chosen you. But now it's your duty to do your karma. That I always used to say in my classes, that Bhagavan has holded your hand. Now whether you want to hold back the hand of Bhagavan, choice is yours. Because again, you see, for Arjuna also, Bhagavan said you do. Karma to you only have to do. I will take care, I am standing behind. Bhagavan will not do our karma. Bhagavan will give us the food. But I have to eat with my hand. So that is what we have to think. Right? So now you see, and of all the yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in the transcendental loving service is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest one. So those who are always thinking about Bhagavan is the highest one, right? Of, for whom there is nothing left. They are not expecting anything from this world. You see, if you will see a pure devotee, even he does not want liberation also. He is saying that I want always, see, liberation is for whom? For my soul, right? But if I am asking that I want to serve Bhagavan, it means I don't want that also for me. It means, you see, my dedication. I want to always be with the, Bhagavan, right? So, yoga is what? The spiritual practice. And you see different yoga practices in the different yugas we have seen. You see in Satyuga we were having the meditation, and Treta Yuga now itself we have seen the the sacrifices. In the Dwapar Yuga we were having the temple worship, right? Then in the Kali Yuga, the easiest one, the chanting the holy name. And you see now why we have to go towards, we can go to with the Ashtanga Yoga also and all that, but you see whether we have that much time, whether we have that much of we don't know when the our exam will come. What is the exam? Anybody can tell what is that exam in our life?
Death.
Yeah, death. Whether anybody know that it will come on that day, that time. Suppose I know after 10 plus 2 means after my 18 years only I will go to my graduation. But whether we can say for death also, whether it will come after this many years, after that time only, whether we know that? Anybody can guess? Okay, it will come for me at that much time. Anybody can say? No, right? Why? Because we don't know. It may come tomorrow, it may not come for 20 years or for 30 years or 40 years. So what we have to do is whether we should go towards Bhagavan by the staircase, slowly going, okay, I will chant. Maybe today I am not feeling good, so I will not chant. But from tomorrow onwards I will definitely practice chanting, or I will do the puja for Bhagavan, or I will surrender my result, whatever the karmas I am doing, the result of that I will surrender to. From tomorrow definitely I will. Or else first I will correct my bad habits, whatever the I am eating meat or any bad habits whatever you have, so then I will leave. And then whether we have that much time? No, we don't have. So that is why we should start. And you see, we are waiting for our purification. See, when you will start chanting, then purification itself will start. That is the mistake we are doing. We are thinking first myself will purify. In the material world, no one can be purified because we are mingled with that type of a people. So we have to start mingling with the devotees, with the devotees of Bhagavan. So we will automatically start purifying. So that is why I am always requesting to everyone, no matter you have 100 flaws, you have 1000 flaws, everybody has, even I have. But start. Whatever the little surrender you can do to Bhagavan, in whichever way you can serve to Bhagavan, you can go to temple, you can do anything. It is your, according to your time, place and circumstances. There is no restriction. The best thing about our Krishna consciousness is that there is no restriction. That, oh no, morning only you have to do this, evening only you have to do it. It is like, there is no such set rules. Or else you have to, bring like this only things and all that. No restriction. So that is why we should take the Bhakti Yoga. It will work like a lift for us. We can reach to Bhagavan faster. So that is why we have to choose in the Kali Yuga. Now comes to, suppose we have to chant. So what we have to chant? See, there are different things, different mantras and all that. But first we have to understand what is mantra, right? So, Manat, in Sanskrit it is called as Manatrayate iti mantra. Means which will relieve us from this, from this material world, right? Which will be able to control the mind. That is called as mantra. And so that is why it is considered as the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It is not called as mantra. It is considered as Maha Mantra. Like the Bhagavatam is there. It is not called as only Purana. Maha Purana. Right? Because it is the biggest. It is the, toppest in among all the Puranas. The same way, this Maha Mantra is the biggest in all. Whatever the mantras we have different. In our Sanatan Dharma, we have different type of. But this is the Maha Mantra. And that is, you see, if you will take the biggest thing, it will be easy for you to reach Bhagavan. It will be easy for you to, reach back to God, right? You see, so Sankirtan, you see, you will see the, chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra people used to do on the streets and the temples for the functions and all that. You see, we are, how we have to inculcate. Here I will, just go a little off the topic. How we can inculcate? We are thinking, okay, suppose we have to take the Bhagavan's name, we have to take, okay, we have to read the Bhagavad Gita, we have to do the puja, we have to go to temple. No, small effort we can do anytime whatever we are doing. You see, suppose we are cooking, Matajis are there, they are cooking, simple. They can take that time, even they cannot hold the mala, right? They cannot hold, but who has stopped them to, take the name of Bhagavan, right? You see, when we are going on a street, We cannot say loudly, but we can always, chant in our mind, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Who has stopped us? Suppose we are offering something to someone, some tree, we are watering the plant. Who has stopped us to chant? No one. So this is what we have to take the small effort towards Bhagavan. See, Bhagavan is not waiting for your, you have to do this much, or tomorrow, you will wake up at, early in the morning, you have to do like this and all. No, Bhagavan is seeing your intention behind every smallest effort you are doing towards Bhagavan. So start taking that, right? So that is we have to do. You see, there are for the holy name we have different scriptural reference. It is not that anybody in Narayan Sanhita it is given. Then in the Kali Santarana Upanishad, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, sorry, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. Right? So there are many, it is given in Shastras, in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is there, right? And in Srimad Bhagavatam it is there, right? Different, this thing is there, right? So, and in the Bhagavad Gita itself, Bhagavan is saying that, oh sacrifice, I am the chanting of the holy name. I am in the japa, I am the, I am that. So in Bhagavad Gita also you have the reference, right? So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, this Antya Leela also it is there. So now, as we have talked about the chanting, so now today we will understand how we have to do. And see, in that you have to understand when we are a neophytes, when we are, starting anything new, whether materially also, spiritually also. So we should not be so rigid in anything. You see, when we are sending a child to the school, whether the school is saying, no, tomorrow onwards you have to wear the uniform, they are saying, oh, you come in your, that casual dress, whatever you are wearing, so that the child will feel comfortable. You see, we are not asking them, oh, you have to do this much of homework. No homework. Then they are not asking them to sit, oh, 5 hours you have to sit. No. They are saying, the same way for Bhagavan also, we should not restrict so much ourselves. In the beginning, we should go with the ease. And that ease will not be same for everyone. You should not compare yourself, oh, that Mataji is able to do this much, that Prabhuji is able to. No, because everyone has their own, surroundings, circumstances, different. So go by your time, place and circumstances. But there are some, things you should know about chanting, right? So what we have to do is, you see, like this we have the bead bag, right? And this, like this we have the, chanting this mala, right? So in this we have, here we have this Krishna bead, the top side you will see, and this side we will have 108 beads, right? So on this Krishna bead we should not chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Here we have to chant the this Panchatattva Mahamantra, right? That you might have seen in the previous classes and all that also. So that we have to see, because you see why? Because we are taking the blessings of Panchatattva, right? Of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu and all that, right? So here we have to chant that. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. So in that, the 5 Panchatattva name, these are the Panchatattva photo you can see, and their names will come. So because, so that they can show the mercy, because it is given, see, this Mahamantra is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only, and he is being so merciful. So we are asking him to show the mercy on us also, because we are the new people, we don't know, we may do some mistake and all that. So we are asking that Bhagavan, please take care, right? Like that, right?
Taking out.
Yeah. So now what we have to do is chant audibly. Why? Because you see, what happens is, with that 2-3 benefits are there. First benefit is for yourself. You will not fall sick. Your concentration will you will not lost somewhere. Your concentration will be there. Your this thing that you will be able to hear that again and again. At the same time, see, when you are chanting loudly, what happens is, you don't know how many microorganisms are there, how many trees, birds, everything surrounding us. Suppose in your home it is there, some pets are there and all that. So if they are also listening, because they cannot chant, right? But they can also be liberated. You can also help them with that. So that is why it is not only beneficial for you if you are chanting loudly, but for others too. So we have to think for that. Like, why people are doing that, that Sankirtan on the roads, on the every street and all that. So there also so many trees are there, even people, those who are not going to temple, those who are not knowing. So when they will also hear, that will benefit them. So always we should not like, everywhere. Suppose we are on the bus stand and we started, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Not like that. You have to see the place also. See, that, sensible you should be. Just because Mataji said so does not mean that everywhere that rule will be applicable. But if you are on a right place, means at home or any calm place, so you should chant loudly, right? Next is pronounce each name distinctly. Why? Because see, Bhagwan's name are non-different from Bhagwan. We are thinking that, oh, Bhagwan, we have kept the image of Bhagwan means what? Bhagwan will appear in the yellow color dress, like this garland, like this picture is there behind me, right? So we have that kind of image. See, Bhagwan is present everywhere. You see, you might have read in previous chapters that Bhagwan is present in everyone. Whether it is the microorganism, whether it is a coronavirus, or whether it is a dinosaur, or whether it is a blue whale or the elephant, as a Paramatma, right? So when we are pronouncing each name, so we are calling to Bhagavan. So Bhagavan will think, Arey, somebody is calling me, my devotee is calling me. If we are saying Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare anything, then it does not, the meaning of that will change. And mantras are not only words, they are the frequencies to reach them. That also, if I will not go in details, but if you will see frequency wise, and this whole universe works on frequencies, right? The kind of frequency, and that is why it is called as that whatever you are thinking, with the correct frequency will happen automatically. Manifestation. These days, one fancy word has come. So that is also that only. So because you are connecting with the frequency of the universe. So this is also the same thing only when it comes to spiritual world. It was there in our Shastras. But as we don't read, so now with the bigger terms, we are bringing manifestation, this, that and all that. We are thinking that, Arey, this is something new. Foreigners have given us. Right? But it's not that. So that is why we should chant even if you are chanting, see, one round, if you are taking, maybe it will take maybe 7-8 minutes maximum, 10 minutes also you take. Do that nicely. You yourself will feel calmness. Just do it for 10-20 days. One round. Don't do much. I'm not asking you that you have to do, you have to sit, or just don't compare some other Matajis or Prabhujis whose journey have started long before, or they are doing many malas and all that. No. Just do as an initial person, pronounce the correct name. You will understand the difference. You yourself will feel. Chant with respect and devotion and concentration. See, for anything, even if you are, material things also. Suppose you have a pen. You are throwing your pen here, you are not giving respect. Whether how many days it will be with you. This is about Bhagavan. So that is why the respect for everything. You see, your car is there, you are not cleaning it, you are not giving it for servicing. Then what will happen? It will damage. The same thing is here also. It is not that, we have to take care only our material things. We have to take care our spiritual things also. So we have to be with the devotion, with the respect that yes, I am taking the Bhagwan's name, with the full concentration. No, I have this meeting. When you have this kind of a work, don't chant. It is not that compulsion that at least in a like to Srila Prabhupada, somebody asked, you see Prabhupada ji, I am not getting the time for chanting. Prabhupada ji said, oh really, I am very busy, you don't know. So Prabhupada ji said that okay, you are getting time for the food, you are able, yeah Prabhu, for that, so we have to take time. Na? Then he said, okay, chant at that time. See, how come we are getting the time for eating the food every day? Whether we are missing? No. Suppose 2 o'clock we did not eat, we will eat 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Maybe 1-2 days like this can happen. So, because we want to eat it. So, whatever we want to do in our life, we always have time. This is the nature of mind. And what we don't want to do, we will always have the excuses for that. That understand, this is the play of your mind. Right? So that is why just chant with the full respect and the devotion and the concentration. You can chant in any place, sitting or walking, facing any direction. It is not that, oh, on the east, then you will start searching, or where is the east, there is no restriction like that. Wherever you are, just any place. Suppose you are walking also, suppose you are going on a morning to some temple, there also you can go. Suppose you are going for a normal walk, there also you can keep chanting. You can face any direction. There is no restriction towards that, right? then you can chant at any time. So, however, it is recommended to chant in the early in the morning. You know why? It is not a restriction. You see, our body has a clock. You know, the peher. You know, in Hindi, I will not go that. So, that time from 4 to 7 is considered as the most auspicious time, right? And that time the energy from the universe or the from the you can say the divine are reaching to the our plane, our earth, right? So that time if you are trying to connect Bhagwan, it will be very easy, right? Suppose you have to reach somewhere within 1 hour, so what you will take? You will take the aeroplane, you will not take the bullock cart. So that is why you should, it is not a compulsion. See, anything in our Sanatan Dharma which is made is very scientific, but only thing is, as we are not reading, as we are not understanding, we are thinking, early in the morning they are saying whether 4 o'clock who can wake up. It's not that. Even if you will do it, at the time of 8 o'clock also, nothing change will come. But that time the connection will be easier to, that is the, it is recommended, right? But anyhow, you can chant depending upon your time. You can chant either before or after taking bath. So it is not that, you see some people, they are living in such a cold area, even in North India and all that, you see in December, January and all that, very cold, in 1 or 2 degrees, suppose, in Jammu, Kashmir, Himachal and all such areas, they are minus in temperature. So we cannot expect that 4 o'clock they will take bath and all that, right? So it is not going to affect. See, your, this cleanliness is for your outer body. If your mind is cleansed, if your senses are cleansed, then from inside you are cleansed. And if you are approaching that time Bhagwan, you will reach it. It is as simple as that. It is not that, by taking bath only you will be cleansed. Your mind you have to cleanse, because that only will, make you to chant properly. So, that is, you can chant any time. Now, we will see what all we should not do. Because, see, this is a Maha Mantra. So, we should be careful. We should not do some kind of a bad things towards Bhagwan, right? As we are, starting our journey, so we should be little careful, right? So when you see, when in the beginning child is going to the school or any new place or for a job, so how careful their parents are, right? The same way we should also be, right? We should, to think that, okay, unknowingly we should. So that is why we should not, do some kind of a mistake. So we should know what are the mistakes we can do and how to avoid them. So one should not chant only a portion. It is not that Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, not the, if you are sitting, just complete the, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this much full you have, right? You should not, say it the portion. One should not chant on the Krishna bead, as I told you this, top side. So there you have to chant only the Panchatattva Mahamantra. That you should not chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. One should not chant while reading. Oh, some people, I am reading the newspaper that time, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. What is there in the news? Oh, this attack happened. Oh, what he did, what? Then what is, whether your concentration is there in the newspaper or in the chanting. See, anytime you do little, but do it with full concentration. 10 minutes maximum for one round. Maximum, even if you are doing the slowest, way. So not more than that. So whether we cannot take out 10 minutes for our life. It is not that, don't think that if you are not chanting, Bhagavan will lose something. No. It is for our upliftment. It is for our life that, again we should not come in this material world. Again we should not suffer. It is for ourselves, not for Bhagavan. Don't, be in this, that, you see, I am doing very big to Bhagavan. No, it is not, nothing. Bhagavan has nothing to do with that. If you are not doing, someone else is doing. Nothing doing also, okay. Bhagavan will think, my devotee will come. Bhagavan will wait. Bhagavan is waiting only, no? Right? So, now what are the benefits? Right? Benefits of chanting we will see. Freedom from the reaction of sins. Right? Because you see, we are doing so many this thing. Bad karmas and all that. So many things. As I told you, the karma yoga. So in that we cannot understand the intricacies of karma. Whatever we are thinking it is good can be bad. Whatever we are thinking is bad can be good. So we cannot understand. So it will make us free. And that is why even, you can see so many those who are the correct people na, that they will have that astrology and horoscope and all sort of things. You will find the people they started chanting and all that, their horoscope itself gone wrong. whatever is written, opposite of that only is happening. Suppose it is written they will marry 2 or 3 times, nothing happened, they did not marry itself. So it is any time, it's in our hand also, we can change if we are in the Bhagwan's path. Because you see everything, see astrology is what, depending upon your previous karmas, right, and the your that planets will affect your life, right. Whatever previously, suppose I have done 10 good karma, 10 bad karma in my previous how many lives I don't know. So this time I will take 5 good karma, Bhagwan will give me, 5 bad karma, Bhagwan will give me, I will come in this life, right. Now they will have the impact. Suppose 5 bad karma I had done, very bad karmas, like you see that Dronacharya was there, right. Why he was having that arrows, he was on the bed, arrow bed only at the last time, right. Why he was on that? He said to Bhagavan, he asked this question, you see Bhagavan, I remember my 100 births, I have not done this much bad, you see everybody died with one arrow and I am suffering like this here. So Bhagavan said, oh really, I have done only this much, just remember before that what you have done. So what he used to do in one of his life, he used to pierce the small insects and all that, and then they will suffer. That the same suffering is happening to him now. So don't think that karma will leave you. Bhagavan can leave you, your karma will never ever. The same thing is with the Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra also, he killed the birds in his previous life, 100. So what happened? It took him, I think 50 or some janmas to collect the good karma, and then he got 100 sons and they were killed. So karma is that powerful. But when we will start chanting, so we are not creating any new karma, right? Now you understood. So because we are surrendering the result to Bhagavan, we are not thinking I am doing, I am not thinking that I am the doer, nothing. I am, I am the, whatever I am doing, it's by the instruction of Bhagavan, that's it. So result good or bad or nothing, that will be taken care of by Bhagavan, right? So that is why we will be freed from the sin, then relief from the unwanted drives and habit. You see these days, why this much, after having this much of good life, why people are going towards all these things? Have you ever thought? You see, such a peaceful life, peaceful in the sense means so much of this what can we say, that luxury, everything we have, right? But still people are going in that because they are not connected to Bhagavan. They are not understanding the real purpose of life. They are searching the happiness at a wrong place, right? So freedom from anxiety and stress, because you will understand, see, I am not the doer of anything, so why to take the tension? See, suppose I am giving an exam, in that I have, working hard is my duty. Like, in the first chapter what Bhagavan said to Arjuna, see, it is none of your thing that what will happen. That he said, I will get the sin for killing my own people and all that. He said, what is going to happen, that is already decided by Bhagavan, but you have to do your karma. So that is why then we will not be, stress or what will happen. Because stress comes is when we are concentrating on the result. When we are thinking that, I have, prepared this much hard, out of 100, how many marks I will get, whether I will clear this JEE, whether I will get the job in US. We are expecting the result. So, but if we are not expecting, I given the exam, let's see what happens. As simple as that. Then no anxiety, no stress. So, when you will start chanting, then you are surrendering to Bhagavan. Let him decide what he wants, what is the best for me. So, peace of mind. You will have peace. You will, no matter in whichever situation you are, you will be at peace. Real happiness. See, we are searching happiness in what? I am having, SUV. So, now I will take Rolls Royce. After getting Rolls Royce, then I see, Lamborghini. My neighbor is having Lamborghini. My relative is having. Then, my happiness gone. So, whatever the effort I put there in the buying the Rolls Royce, finish. Because I have seen the Lamborghini, so my happiness have now shifted. But here it is not like that. You know who I am, what is my ultimate goal, and that is why you are always happy. It is not temporary happiness. Enlightenment. Right? All these things are the byproduct of when you will start chanting to Bhagavan, when you will start surrendering to Bhagavan. What people say about chanting Hare Krishna. You see, it is not that we are only saying that, this Mahamantra is the biggest one, or this has so many benefits and all that. You see, from across the globe, you will find what people has to say. You see, George Harrison. It's really a process of having realization of God. You see, even if you might have studied the little life of this Srila Prabhupada, you see where he went, what, in between the whom, the hippies, you see all the bad habits they were having, everything bad. See, they transformed. Imagine, nobody can be, worse than them. But you see, because of this mantra, because of the prasadam, because of, chanting, Srila Prabhupada changed them. They become even better devotees. You just go and see the foreigners in the, whether it is in Vrindavan or in Mathura or in Dwarka or in any Mayapur and everywhere. You see, they are so this thing. You see, just read about the TOVP temple of Vedic Planetarium in Mayapur. It is being constructed. In that, they will teach about later chapters. You will get the Goloka chart. So that presentation will be there in that temple. How is our universe and all that, right? How are different lokas and all that. So that temple is, the construction, everything is led by one person. You can, now I will not tell, just go and do the research. He comes from the Ford company, the owner. Ford, everybody knows the, car was there. So, Henry Ford and all that, you might have seen. You just go and read. Then you will find that, you see, they were having everything in their life. Then what is them missing? You see, now recently you might have seen the Elon Musk father. He came to, ISKCON. For what purpose? What he does not have. But still he is thinking. You see, when Steve Jobs was there, the Apple owner, the Facebook owner, the Mark Zuckerberg, both the came, people went to, Neem Karoli Baba. For what purpose? Because you see, when you have everything in life, after that also your emptiness is there, then you will start searching what is the purpose of life. See, that is what, that is the ultimate thing, is the realization of God. Because anyhow, we are the part and parcel of Bhagavan. So that is everything started happening for me when I began chanting Hare Krishna. You see, such big people, right? In this everywhere. See, this is Albert Brushford. So chanting Hare Krishna has made a tremendous impact in my life. He is the owner of Ford Motors, right? He is now only I told. He is not the one. Another person is there from the Ford. Now you check it. So Andy Desai. And you see, they are from the different sector. They are not that everybody is from the temple. So they are saying, oh, for them so it is job. No, means no, they are only doing. No, they are all the people who have achieved the highest position in their fields. Suppose in engineering, in doctors, in lawyer, every field. And then also they are appreciating and they are finding the peace in the Hare Krishna chanting. Right? You just to see the impact. You can find if some of you are there on the Google and all that to research, just see, even outsiders are doing the research that how the impact of chanting that our brain, whether it is memory, whether it is concentration, whether it is our focus, everything increases. And that is why it is suggested that from the beginning, means the how much ever your child is the young, from that time you should start them the chanting. But what we are thinking, no, now to first you have to do 10 plus 2, whether you want to become a Mahatma. By chanting we became Mahatma. Suppose I taken the engineering book, so I became engineer. No. So what? So we are not understanding that what is the base we have to create for our kids. And but you see, they are understanding. You see, I have been chanting Hare Krishna for many years, and I have never found anything more pleasurable. You see, he is also a very big person in that it is overlapping everything. So 1 second. No, it is not happening. So chanting Hare Krishna helped me to face the ups and downs in my life. You see, when nothing was happening to the Mark Zuckerberg, he came. All these people, you see, that one person, I forget his name, he is very big, I just forgot his name. So every year, even if you might be knowing the, this South Indian actor, Rajinikanth, every time, 1 month, 2 months, he will be out somewhere, nobody knows where he went. See, they have not become, highest without spirituality. And if you have become also, then your mind will make you, rotate. That is for sure. If you are, because when it comes to, your, Maya is very strong in the material world. It will take you, like, it will rotate you like anything. If you are not in surrender of Bhagavan, if you are not surrendering to, Bhagavan. right? Chanting helped me give up bad habits. If I change, so it is a Dutch model. You see, she's a model. Imagine, you see, previously she was coming on the Vogue magazine. If you might be knowing, I know, just check it, how big that magazine is, coming on the front page of that, how difficult it is. So imagine, but she has changed. Because you see, they have tasted the maximum in their material world. And after that also, that same emptiness is there in their life. Then they will start, searching for that. So by starting to chant Hare Krishna, you see, again, I find the happiness. You see, again, she is also the European model. You see, like this only, everywhere. You see, he is, from the army. My outlook towards life is lot more brighter after starting to associate with the Hare Krishna devotees and chanting the Mahamantra. You see, even when Steve Jobs, who became the Apple owner, he himself in his interview on the social media, you can check it, he said that when he was not having money, he used to go to ISKCON temple to have food. You see, so, you know what, we have to see what all benefits are there. You see, chanting makes me feel close to God, right? Then you see, here also Mahamantra, he is also, everybody is, when I am stressed out, I chant. It is one thing which charges my batteries and my mind, and brings me back to the focus. See, all the big shots are there, and they are not from India. That is also you have to see. You see, if they are coming into this, then you have to understand that. One second. Sorry. So, you see, when I am nervous, I find chanting very calming. I don't get shaken up at little things. You see, everybody, you will read about them. You see, chanting Hare Krishna and, reading authorized book, took him to Krishna consciousness has brought me great peace, right? You see, and last, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So now, what we can conclude is that, you see, first is, when we are chanting the mantra, it is not for others. It is for the upliftment of myself. Myself means not for this body. For this body, from morning till evening, we are doing 24 by 7, 365 days for 80 years, 90 years. But are we doing for the soul who is there inside? That it is for that. Second thing is, you see, whatever the relationships, whatever anything you have accumulated here, only for a particular lifespan. After that also your life is there. Their life will be where you don't know. They will not come, your parents or your mother or sister or brother or anybody. Nobody will be there. But your life will be there next birth if you are not practicing this. So these are the few things you have to remember, whether you want to upgrade yourself, whether you want to go back to the, your real destination. It is not for Bhagwan. Don't think that Bhagwan is waiting, if you are doing something, Bhagwan will gain something. Or if you are not doing, Bhagwan will lose something. It is not for that. So when for our material life, we are giving this much time, this much energy, at least for our real life, we should practice that. And at the same time, you have to remember that when we are dying, see, suppose you have practiced whole lot of things, but at the time of death, if you don't remember Bhagwan, whatever you will remember, suppose you remembered your family, people, you will or your dog or cat, like you might have seen the story of Bharat Maharaj, right? He remembered the deer because he used to take care of him, so he got so attached towards him. So at the time of, so next birth he became the deer only, right? You see, but at the same time Ajamila was there. Mataji might have told you the stories. So, in that Ajamila, at the last time, he did so many bad things in his life, even though he was very good up to his, young age. But when he met the prostitute, so he started doing all the bad things. But last, Bhagwan gave him the buddhi that he kept his, son's name as Narayan. So when he was leaving his body, when the Yamdutas came, so he was shouting, Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. And what happens is that, because when you are taking the Bhagwan's name, the Vishnu Dutas will come to take you. Yamadutas cannot take you, right? Because you are the associate of Bhagwan. Means you are chanting the name of Bhagwan, so Bhagwan people only will take you, right? So then they said, they had a fight in the sense, Yamdutas are saying, Arey, he's taking the name of, his son. He's not taking the name of Bhagwan. Vishnu Duta said, we are not bothered. Whose name is that? It is name of Bhagwan only. So you cannot take. So then they said, okay, we will give him one more chance. So like that, he got one more chance, and then he remembered this incident, and next he, chant Bhagwan's name, and then he went back. The same way Bharat Maharaj also, he remembered that previous time, because of remembering the deer, I became deer, and then again in next life he became, and then he went back. So you see, that is why it is not for Bhagwan. You are not doing something for Bhagwan. It is for your upliftment. Just you have to remember. And if you want to make your material life also peaceful, it is not about your spiritual life only. And if you want to achieve the great heights and being calm after that also, then also you have to bring this Maha Mantra in your life. And you just take it from me in writing. If you are doing it sincerely for just 18-20 days, just one round, don't do much. Just take out your 10 minutes. I am not asking you, you just do for 1 hour, you do the Mangala Aarti, this, that, nothing. At initial stage, just 10 minutes from your life, right? Just take out, sit properly, chant properly, just focus on Bhagwan. You will see the transformation. Just take it from me in writing. It is, you can, anybody of you can come, but sincerity has to be there, not for the show off. That you see, I have taken the 500 rupee bead bag, you see, I am chanting, not like that. Because Bhagwan, the intention is reaching to Bhagwan. Bhagwan will not see your presentation. Bhagwan will see your intention. Remember that. And he knows your inside out. What you are doing, what you are thinking, everything he knows. So just be careful in that and just do that, and you will see a transformation is waiting for your life. Because this is not a normal mantra. It has the magic. Because in that, whatever the words are there, they are non-different from Bhagwan. Always remember. The mantras are non-different. You are, every single word, Hare Krishna, whatever you are chanting, that you are calling Bhagwan, and it is reaching to Bhagwan if your bhava is right. See, I have used a clause that if your bhava is right. If your bhava is Hare Krishna, looking here, there nothing is, you just chant for 100 years also, nothing will happen. Something will happen, but not that much. You understand? It will have the impact. But the more concentrated, the more concentration you will have, the more focus, the more dedication you have, your path will be easier. You will be easily reached. So that is what for today. So we will stop here. Yeah. So anybody has any doubt or something, so they can ask. Or otherwise we can end the session. So please, it's my request to every single person, just do whatever you are doing in your material life, and don't wait for the material transformation that, oh, I will become like this, I will change myself in my material world, then I will start chanting. No, because this chanting will change you. Just remember that. Start taking the name of Bhagwan. Start taking, shelter of Bhagwan. It itself, you will see the changes in your life. Whatever the bad habits, whatever may be the bad habits you may have, they will slowly go off. But always remember, consistency is the key. It is not that today I did 10 rounds, then for 1 week I have not touched the mala itself. No. That is why I said just do 1 round. It is my humble request to everyone. Just 10 minutes, not more than that, maximum that too. You can do it in 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 6 minutes, depending upon everybody's timings, right? So that is how it is. So please, and a second thing is, see, if you don't find the excuses. Yeah, here I forgot to mention one. Mataji, we don't have the mala. So how to do that? Everybody has this. Till the time you don't have mala, this one we have. So what you do is, you see, from here you will start, means 12 count will come. And then here you count 1. Right? Suppose you did Hare Krishna 12 times here, then your 1 round is finished. Then again 2 rounds, then again 3 rounds. Like this up to 9 you did, then your 12 nines are 108. Then your total 1 round is finished. So nobody can give the excuse also, oh, I don't have mala and all that. Till the time you are ordering. You can order from the temple website also. Don't go by Amazon and Flipkart and all that, because there we don't know what they are selling. These days, we cannot rely on. So there you will get the authentic things So please do that. Yes, Deepak Prabhuji, do you have any question or something?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
My question is that is it necessary to count that exactly 108 times we should chant, or if we chant for around 10 minutes, it will be okay?
Yeah, see, Prabhuji, what happens is, see, it is always good. See, when we are doing something, now little rules we have to. Now, why I said 10 minutes, some people will chant little slow. For some people, it will finish in 7 minutes. Then you have chanted more than that, right? But if, why not to chant? Why not to remember the count? You see, it is very easy. I said, no, even if you don't have mala, even if you, everybody has the hands. It is as simple, and everywhere you have. You are sitting in the bus, you are sitting in your car, you are in your kitchen, you are in your room. Everywhere you have. So don't find the excuses. Find the ways to surrender. So just make sure that you are chanting the. If it is missed also, no problem. Don't go. Oh, suppose it went 110. Bhagwan's name. If you take it more also, nothing will be bad. But try to make it as 108, because that is a whole cycle, Prabhuji. So that is the only thing.
Okay.
Yeah. If more also, don't think. Bhagwan will be pleased only.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody
Thank
else has? Yeah. Hare Krishna. So.
Hare Krishna.
So please make sure, don't find the excuses, find the reasons to chant. That is what I want from every one of you. It is my humble request to all the devotees. So please do that. So shall we end the session here? Okay. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Thank you so much for joining. Tomorrow we will meet at 9 p.m. Thank you so much to all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Chitra Mataji, shall I end the meeting?